And we are live. What is up, people? The internet, it is me, Real American, back again with a new stream. And that is right, we are live on this beautiful June 10th, 2026. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm having a great day myself. And we're joined by Mr. Tyrone, Real Texan Politics, Mr. Luke, and of course, Mr. Ye, the usual suspect.
Ye literally joined right as you started saying that, for those who don't know.
I totally planned that. Totally.
Yeah, hey, big Chungus, dude. Oh my god.
Fuck you, Ye. Fuck.
Yeah, so everybody, it's that time of month, everybody, for the updated Senate map prediction. We'll do a House prediction probably tomorrow, and then governor prediction maybe Friday.
You know, if I had $1 for every Wisconsinite and Texan in this voice chat, I'd have $5.
Yay. So we have
what about him?
Yeah, what's up?
We do have a lot to get to today. We got to talk about the Senate map of how things are looking, because yesterday was a big primaries out of South Carolina and Maine. Obviously, South Carolina is not competitive, but Maine is. And we got the results out of there. So I think it is time for a new updated map prediction. But before we get into it, guys, you know the drill. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. All great ways to support the daily content. And if you have any questions or concerns or want to support the channel even further, the best way is sending super chats via the chat. I will read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. Already got a couple
I will also
chats.
mention yesterday was a great day for the justice system, because Carmelo Anthony is going to prison for 35 years.
Also, as of 15 minutes ago, we have started bombing Iran again.
Yay.
So I thought I would let people know.
I like how nobody cares anymore.
Welcome back, Holden Blood Feast.
Everybody's like, oh, we don't care. That's a funny thing about it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes in Iran. Again, I kind of stopped talking about Iran because we keep hearing conflicting stuff. So until we get actual information, I'm kind of just going to wait and see. Prince Rider for 2. Plattner did horrible in election day vote, dropped by 7%. Yeah, he did not have the best of performances last night. Yeah,
he did not have the courage.
But yeah, thank you. Zachary Gallagher for 20. Plattner will become Flattener in the general by over 60 points. Real and true. Tristan for 2. Jim March, you're going to cost us another Secretary of State race.
Please, dude.
Yeah.
What?
Your fucking microphone is going to kill me.
Is my microphone that bad? Yeah.
No, it just
yes.
it just
both of you.
Yeah, Jim Marchant, I guess Secretary of State candidate. Really didn't see much about that.
I don't know
race.
what's going on. Is it better now?
Yeah. American Noted for 2. So Maine is gonna be R plus 15 to 20. Well, we'll get to that. So I do think it's time we get to the official map, and I think we start with all the races that everybody knows about that we don't really have to talk about. So let's start with the safe Democrat states. Oregon. Did I really gotta say much more?
Tilt D.
Yeah, real. Who's even
Okay,
the
are we
Republican
doing
nominee?
margins or
No, we don't do
odds?
margins anymore. After 22, no, we don't do that anymore.
Probability.
Yeah, probability. So
Bro.
safe
But
is
even
over.
then, this is Senate, not governor. Governor,
Yeah.
it's different, but
Yeah,
Senate.
governor can be a little bit
safety.
different, but Oregon is safe, Colorado is safe, New Mexico is safe, Illinois, Minnesota, Virginia, Delaware, blah blah blah. We get the point.
Minnesota.
Minnesota for
Soda.
Senate.
I don't think for Senate. I think Minnesota's got potential because Peggy
No, we're not
Flanagan
playing this
is.
game. No,
No, I'm putting it.
No.
No, put it likely D. That
Put
that
it
is
like
my.
this. Yeah.
That's my thing.
Republicans actually have a good candidate there.
I was gonna say, dude.
Also-
Minnesota was D+4 in 2024. You can't
Yeah.
mark it as safety.
Also,
We're
by
not
the way,
saying we're
Tom.
gonna
Also,
flip it.
by the way, Tom Emmer did a little sneaky and decided to post a picture of him hugging Angie Craig.
okay, fine.
So there
But
you go.
by the way, before I forget the probabilities, I don't got the thing pulled up here. I forgot. I'm sorry. Next time we do prediction, we'll have it pulled up on the side. But safe is over 90% chance of it going that way. Likely like 75, 90%. Lean like 60 to 75%. And anything below 60 is shut up. Is tilt. So that's kind of what it is. Kind of makes sense. You kind of get the point. Prince is rated for 5. Here's Eternals as of yesterday. North Carolina D+3, Georgia D+3, Ohio R+7, Maine tied, Michigan R+1, New Hampshire D+2, Texas R+6, and Alaska R+8. Actually,
Okay, yeah,
that's
I
in
like
line
that
with
actually.
what I'm gonna say mostly. I think,
Oh,
but-
shit. Michigan. Okay, here's what I will say about Michigan, and this is important.
Well, we'll get to
The
Michigan
reason-
later.
Okay, yeah, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Let's go in order. Let's get the Republican states in the way. Idaho safe. I don't think I really say much there. Montana. I mean, aren't Democrats splitting the vote anyways there?
Yes,
Yeah, they're
the vote
splitting the
between an
votes.
independent.
So how the hell do people think they're gonna win?
Well,
I mean,
the
the
whole point
independent-
was they
the
were wanting the
independent-
Democrat to drop out.
Okay.
The independent will probably get second place, but even then, it should be
It doesn't matter.
safe Republican at the
It's,
end
yeah,
of the
it's
day.
safe Republican. I'm not playing this stupid game. Wyoming, the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, the Deep South, Tennessee, Kentucky, blah blah blah. South Carolina, nothing.
Oh, Nebraska. Well, Nebraska has
Oh,
the
Nebraska. Yeah, I
independent
forgot
too.
about that, but we'll get to that.
Oh no, actually, South Carolina is also competitive because Lindsey Graham.
No, we're not doing this shit. Fuck Bears. I don't care what he says. I don't give a shit what he has to say.
Why are you so mean to Rich Barris? What did he do to you?
No, dude, he's just a man with a lot of testosterone, dude.
Yeah.
So
So
It's
I'm
just
gonna
getting
mark these as the
worked.
safe states that we really don't gotta. We're not gonna talk, but I'm not playing this game with South Carolina. How many times do they say that South Carolina's competitive and then it isn't? I mean, did Republicans win?
Also, Florida's safe red.
Yeah, I'd say safe are there too. Yeah.
Yeah, I would by probability, yes, safe are.
Probability, yeah.
Even if
Margin-wise, maybe
Shealy
not.
wins by like 8 to 10 points, like that's technically likely, but come on, man.
Again,
But Florida's probably like 9.
this is
honestly.
probability based. Like I said, we're not doing margin based. I don't care what Lucas is saying. It's better this way, in my opinion. But I don't know. So yeah, I
well,
think
your opinion's wrong. Fuck you, buddy.
okay, yeah. So Florida safe R probability wise. Maybe it's R+9, but Jack O'Maxer 20. Unrelated, but Nevada GOP treasurer primary still counting and within 3,000 votes. Drew Johnson a win and could win the general election due to Lombardo coattails. His opponent is a neocon hack. Drew wants to end minority welfare fraud in Nevada. Well, hopefully Drew Johnson wins, but we'll see what happens.
Interesting.
there.
Also, I would like to say, obligatory mention, we're gonna outvote Dems in the Nevada primary.
Hey, funny thing, Bears said they weren't going to do that. Minutes
I would just like to
before
say,
that happened.
Dems. The Dem primary is 90% in. The Republican primary
It's
is
like
only
87%.
88.
American
And
Nerd
we're
for
still
2.
out
Texas
voting.
is not safe far for Senate. Texas is not safe
We'll
far
get
for
to
Senate. Or maybe it
Texas.
is. I don't know.
We'll get to
Even
Texas
if
later.
Well, this is Senate, not governor.
Yeah,
So-
but as for like what happened in Nevada, so what does that mean? Nevada's lean R? Well, I think Lombardo's going to win easily, but
All right, hold on. I'm gonna hop on my computer. Give me a few seconds.
it's like the Republicans got their votes out in Nevada, which is kind of weird. I don't know why. Is there an explanation for why that happened?
For why what? I'm sorry.
Why Republicans voted in Nevada at large rates?
Outvoting in Nevada because it's a red state,
Yeah.
retard.
Because they
I
had
guess.
competitive primaries.
Yeah, well,
That's
first of all,
fair.
yeah, we had competitive primaries. That was a big deal. Although Democrats did as well because they have governor like the governor primary was competitive. The attorney general ran for governor, so his primary was competitive for attorney general. It's like
but it's the congressional primaries were all competitive for
congressional primaries. Yeah, I think that's what happens. Although this does show that Republicans are still enthusiastic.
They're still like in Nevada. It just depends.
Yeah,
on
we
the
outvoted
state.
Dems in Washoe by like 8 points.
That's
we
well.
did
To be fair,
short in
that
Clark,
happens every
but-
year. I think that is Reno. You still got a lot of Republicans there.
Yeah, Reno has a lot of Republicans. What happens with Nevada, with Washoe is it's the independents that break Dem, and some R's that break Dem as well.
But yeah, I mean,
like,
there were some big wins in Nevada. Like obviously Marty won, but Flippa won at the end of the day. That was a big win. So big upgrades in Nevada. What? So funny.
Nothing. His join sound. Don't worry about it.
I have him muted.
No,
So
my joint sound is the smoke alarm beep. That's it. Rotexan heard it. Anyway,
okay,
what's
Tyrone,
your-
done. You stop.
Anyways, shut the fuck up.
Let's see. I'm Battlefield for 2. Thoughts of Susan Collins ad? I didn't see it. Actually, is that the one where they like do the old the Willie Brown ad or whatever? Like the H.W. Bush ad with like the criminal.
With the revolving door.
No, the guy that like stabbed a bunch of people.
Also, hello, Midnight Messenger.
Tyrone, really?
Hello, Tyrone.
What's wrong with saying hello, Midnight Messenger?
Yeah, what's
No,
wrong with
No, there's
Midnight
nothing
Messenger?
wrong. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah,
with
you
it.
were like, stop, Tyrone. It's like,
Hello,
No.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, the Halo guy won in Nevada.
Yes,
and he won
Halo American Nerd
easily.
for
Thank
2.
you.
Yeah,
Okay,
Halo.
anyways.
Okay,
Marty
everyone just
O'Donnell.
shut up. I'm starting to get pissed with some people already. Jesus.
okay.
You're all talking over each other. Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, it's been 10 minutes. Everybody chill. So, okay. What state do we even start with? All right, where are we going to go
Let's start with Texas because that's going to be the most expensive one this cycle.
Let's go start. Let's start with Texas. Why not?
Like
Likely are.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Likely are.
Are we going by
Likely.
margins or are we going
New
by
probability.
we're going
Probability.
probability.
Yeah.
I'm going likely R.
Yeah,
I
I
would say
agree.
likely.
I agree. I'm not going to.
Likely R. Paxton by 8. Abbott by 12.
I
Move
just
on.
think in the primary alone, it's clear Paxton unified the base enough. He clearly won the primary by, 20 points, was it?
Yeah, I think the Siena poll from like yesterday or the day before had us a tied race, but even
It was
then-
revised. Remember that.
Yeah,
Which
it
is-
was
Funny
originally
how that
Tallarico
works.
Tallarico plus 3, and then they revised it a tied race. I think what's happening is you still have a lot of like Cornyn voters that are undecided, but I think a lot of them will still come home at the end of the day.
Like I try to tell people, why would a Cornyn voter vote for Tallarico?
The only
Because
Cornyn
he's a
voter-
milquetoast white guy.
The only Cornyn voters who are voting for Tallarico in a general are Democrats who voted in the Republican primary to begin with that are out of the major urban counties, specifically those in the Austin area.
Yeah, that's about it.
That
Let
is
me
the
pull
only
up
explanation.
24 results. If I can pull it up, there we go. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I think of is, you got voters in Austin. And even then, he didn't really do particularly
Maybe
well
some
out
wealthier
there.
voters in like the park cities in Dallas and Houston, something
Maybe like
like that.
fucking
Even-
Sugarland Dems voting in the
Yeah, I just-
primary or something.
I do think, like, it's not going to be like R plus 15, but probably R plus 4 or 5. I could see it being.
I think unironically a 6-7 win.
Of course.
That's not even really a joke. That's like my
Well, no,
actual
I'm not
prediction,
disagreeing with you.
but-
I think that's actually well within reality. It's not like it's off by 25 points, but
Because I think honestly, with Texas, you will probably see a very similar coalition to 2020.
well, like speaking of Texas, I'm pretty
ball.
sure. I forgot who brought it up, but aren't they like undersampling white voters a lot or something?
Yes,
what's
they,
happening is for
Yeah.
some reason. So they have Tallarico winning Hispanics by 10, which seems realistic, even though Trump won Hispanics in 2024. So they have Hispanics at D plus 10. Makes sense, right? They have whites at R plus 10.
Bullshit.
Trump won 70% of white voters in Texas.
But
and they
guys,
They have, and they
35,
have Texan win by like 10.
2024.
yeah, I can see a shift with some like white suburban voters, maybe, but a 40-point shift or whatever it is, or 30.
Yeah,
point
like some of
shift.
those inner city rich whites will probably move left.
Well,
but-
yeah, like in the freaking Arrow in Houston.
The Arrow,
the Houston Arrow,
Enclave
like-
is in Dallas.
yeah, those will move left. Maybe some of the whites in Tarrant County, like in the Northeast, like
And
Grapevine
that's
or
why, like,
something,
if
but-
you're Tallarico, that should be
Georgetown,
concerning.
Round Rock.
That should be very concerning that you're doing 30 points better with white voters in the polling and you're still tied. That's not a good sign for you.
Yeah,
so
no, D+10 Hispanics would be pretty bad because I'm pretty sure that's to the right of 2020.
it is by like 10
Mhm.
points.
Yeah, and I think Dems
Mhm.
will probably you don't like Hispanics will revert, but I don't think they're gonna be going to like
It's not really the
2016
reversion the
numbers.
Democrats expected. That's the issue.
Well, and even I
Yeah.
mean, even assuming like D+10 Hispanics, that's I don't
nothing.
think that's enough for Tallarico to win the
You would
state.
think it'd be more in Texas because of Mexicans. Like, it's not like Cubans or whatever. So, I don't know. We'll see. But if it's only a 10-point shift with Hispanics, yeah, you're fucked. You're not going to win that race. Because you have to assume black voters are not voting. Like, everybody's just not talking about that. Gee, I wonder why. But,
I'd say we'll go clockwise now. We'll go to Alaska.
yeah, let's go Alaska. Likely are. I'm not doing
Likely
shit.
Likely, I don't
disagree.
buy
I
the
think
polls that have
Peltola's
this
got
as
a clear
close.
shot at that.
I think lean's fine with me. I could go
I
with
would
lean.
say personally tilt Democrat, but obviously you
What-
guys
what?
are
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, she's
Holy.
a popular figure there, Republican.
She lost as the
Republican-
incumbent.
She just lost by 3 or 4
She
points.
lost to a
Dan
big
Sullivan.
itch. Okay,
Dan
me say
Sullivan.
this.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. It's a big itch. It's a Republican big itch, which doesn't make him, which gives him way
Well-
less sway than you're making it out to be. The problem is, Alaska was Trump plus 14. She just lost by 3 or 4 points. She's now running against an incumbent in a more
Alaska
polarized
is
race
very Alaska.
because the Senate is very polarized. I could see Lenar. I could definitely see her losing by
I go
5
Lenar.
points. I do not see her winning at all. I
Hmm.
don't think it's.
I
don't
will
think it's
say
remotely
though, this is
reasonable.
what you got to remember: the Republican governor there is very unpopular. This is a state with under 1 million people. Crazy swings have happened before. They can
It's
happen.
Alaska. You cannot
will.
compare our governor
true.
race with the Senate race.
Alaska will elect Democratic senators from time to time. I don't think
I
she
don't think
wouldn't
they haven't
re-elect
had
him.
like a
I
Democrat.
think
They haven't had like a Democrat senator there
Well,
since
that's
like
the
the
thing. It's
90s. I
like
don't
okay,
think.
I'd understand if you said like tilt R or toss it, but you're actively saying she's favored, and I
She's not
don't.
favored.
That's,
I
it's
think
not,
as of
there's
right
no
now
way.
she is because again, Republicans in the state are very unpopular right now because the governor. I saw there
they
was
were
some
popular
issue
in
with him with like,
24, and they still won.
well, 2024 was a presidential year.
We're gonna
This is
have
a
to
mid-
agree to disagree.
Yeah, I'm saying Lenar. I'm not
Patola-
doing this shit.
Patola by -4.
Yeah, I mean, I can live with Lean R.
I'm going Lenar.
Yeah,
to play
just put it
safe.
Lenar, I guess.
That's fine.
Hold on, I didn't give my prediction, but I agree, Leonor.
Yeah, I just think the problem with Alaska is when it comes to incumbency up there, it becomes a lot more difficult to lose. So, or win, I should say, against
She
incumbent.
won because she won in 2022 because her opponent was our good friend, our
Sarah
great
Palin.
friend Sarah Palin, and then
Yeah.
lost re-election because obviously, I mean, like it's Trump plus 14. She was obviously.
She literally
going to
told
be
her people to
poorly.
vote for her, and they hated each other. Big and Palin hate each other. So
It was our infighting, and then she was
she barely
apparently
won.
very popular in 2024 and still lost by 4. And now she's going to run against Dan Sullivan in a Senate seat. A Senate seat is obviously
And
going to be treated.
Sullivan has
more,
like I know Murkowski's like I know Murkowski's Murkowski.
So
but Murkowski's back at Sullivan right now. So if there was gonna be that moderate R like issue like for Republicans up there, Murkowski would be back at Sullivan right now, but she is. So we'll see, but
Well, and also Peltola's lost before too.
Yeah.
That's just kind of my big
retread
thing.
candidates don't do good a second time around, especially for the same seat, technically. But
I mean, we saw that with Chattarelli. Granted, that was also the government shutdown, but still.
yeah. And I know House not the same as Senate, but Alaska's at large, so it's the same thing. President Gilbert getting up for 20. I've said this before. A lot of Latinos will have a heavy shift towards the GOP. Now, is it by the amount of some generic Republicans are saying? But I think Latino shifts to the right will keep happening, won't stop over time. Well, I think it won't stop over time, but I think 26 you'll get some reversion with Mexicans. But
Palin against Murkowski in
fuck
2022.
that. She would have got
No.
crushed.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you for your obligatory
Yeah, American
twos,
Nerd for
American
two, thank you
Nerd.
so
Keep them
much.
coming.
All right. So enough Alaska. I think it's Lenar, Nebraska. Likely are. That's my
Likely
take.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete
Yeah,
Rick is
Yeah,
too
I
strong.
don't
agree.
think the only one of these like red states that I'm kind of concerned about is Alaska. That every other one I think we're fine in. So, yeah,
Because the thing with Nebraska is like he couldn't beat Fisher, who was incredibly weak. She is not a strong candidate, barely campaigned. She still won by 10. And Pete Ricketts is a popular guy there. So and he's a retread candidate. It doesn't fucking work. And he's doing the same scam again with the fake polls. You notice all these polls in Nebraska are sponsored by him or his campaign? Funny how
He
Well,
that
and
did
works.
this.
also,
He
like-
did this in
and also-
2024. He kept pumping out a bunch of internals that had him either losing by 1 or actually winning, and then he lost by 10.
He's doing the same
Well, and also
scam.
last time too, you had Deb Fisher, who was
Yeah.
very unpopular. Where I
sucked.
think this time the Republican, who I forget who it is
Ricketts.
this
I
year.
said
who's-
it's Ricketts.
Pete
Is it Ricketts? Okay, yeah. Ricketts is fine enough as far as I can tell. Like, I don't think he's like as hated as Fisher was, so I think they're fine.
Is it Nebraska like R+30? Yeah, but the guy's running as an independent.
R+20.
implication.
There's no
Yeah.
Democrat. He's running as an independent. Like, it's one of those things where the median voter, if you take the D away from the name, I don't know. People are retarded. I hate democracy.
Yeah, we'll see though. Iowa. Likely are.
Likely are.
Likely
Governor
are.
race,
I don't
different
think- I don't
story.
think Henson's losing.
But yeah, Henson's not fucking losing. Republicans outvoted Democrats in Iowa, even though people thought that wasn't going to happen. So,
But
We'll
like
see.
6 too, as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wait, what?
7.
What's
67.
Okay, now we're getting to the ones that actually matter. The state of Michigan.
There we go.
Well,
Actually,
let's
let's
actually
do
delve into
Ohio
this.
first.
Let's do Ohio.
No.
Yeah, let's do Ohio
Michigan.
first. Yeah, let's do Ohio.
Lean R.
Lean R.
Lean yeah.
Lean, I'd say lean. I
Let
don't
me pull
think
the polling
Brown's
right
running
now.
a very good campaign.
He's running Epstein.
He's running on Epstein. That's
What the
all. it
fuck is
He's
he
running on
doing?
Epstein.
He's
Like,
he's
okay.
running on that.
He's
You're
running
running on
Epstein.
Epstein, Now, what'll probably I get it. This will probably get him dictator margins with young voters, but they're not going to matter in a midterm. So I don't know what the issue.
Let me
what
pull
the
this
whole-
up here. I gotta pull up the current polling. A reminder: Ohio polling is shit early on.
Well, supposedly, according to some of the higher ups in the Ohio GOP, apparently Houston's internals have him down right now.
They said the same thing about Vance.
Supposedly.
Didn't we just get RNC internals that are like R+6 or 7?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So again, there are when we talk about internals, you do got the RNC, you do got the NRSC, you also got the campaigns. So maybe one of the campaigns was shit pollster, but look at the polling average right now. It's tied. Houston
If
is
it's
up.
tied this far out.
Yeah.
How much was
We've got one
No.
poll since
Marine
after the primary.
Marino was like down by
pull it
like
up.
3 or 4 around this time in 2024. By the way,
RCP Senate. Where is it at? There it is. Yeah, like you guys want to like look at how shit Ohio polling can get. Not as bad as 2020 though was notoriously bad, but
Ironically, that Fox poll has him down 8, but they only have Vivek down 1. So I think Vivek, as of
that's
right now,
bullshit.
is actually
That's
no.
freaking
I think he is better positioned than Houston. I do think that because I think
that's actually what the higher ups in the Ohio GOP think the same thing.
American Note for
yeah,
two.
that's what I was saying for a few months. I said, as crazy as it sounds, there will be Vivek Brown voters.
American
No,
Note
yeah,
for
of
two.
course brown people are gonna vote for Vivek.
I don't know what you-
Tyrone's. Tyrone.
Yay over here. Like, we need to keep the screen professional, guys. And then he fucking come on, man.
American
What?
Note for two. Will Vivek hurt the other races in Ohio? I think a little bit.
No.
No,
He's
I think a
literally
tiny
bit.
running ahead of Moreno right
He's-
now. Like,
I don't understand these questions, bro.
can I
These
explain this to you guys?
No, because you're
Twitter-
going a 5-hour long random nonsense.
I'm not. Twitter is not real life.
What?
YouTube
That's your take?
Is not real life. Yeah. Okay. Just because Vivek is despised by everyone on Twitter does not mean that the median Ohio voter hates Vivek to the point where they are going to vote Democrat and in all these races. That's a joke because the polling shows he's actually outrunning Moreno.
Mr.
I mean, not
Sandy,
Moreno.
Mr. Sandy for
Houston.
two. Epstein class. Well, that's literally what Brown's running on. I'm not even joking. Why are you connecting Houston to
If
Epstein?
Brown was smart, he would have ran for governor. Same with Patola.
Yeah, he would have won.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
are two people who I don't know why they ran for Senate. It was a bad
Chuck
idea,
Schumer told
but
him to.
That's probably because
Chuck Schumer.
Chuck Schumer was begging on his hands and knees for them to run.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me get the polling up because I don't get why people are conveniently forgetting how bad Ohio polling could get. Let me pull this up right here.
we did this in 2020, 2022, 2024.
2024, right here.
Apparently.
2024. This is just 2 years ago. Moreno in June and July was losing by 4 to 5 points. Consistently,
won by
every
3.
poll. He was down until the middle of October.
I mean, you will probably get a lot of summer polls showing Brown up, but I think by the time we get to
every year in
fall, you
Ohio.
start seeing probably more Husted plus like 2 or 3 polls. and
Ohio
then he
polling
wins by
every
4.
year magically switches on a dime in the middle of September. Magically goes, it swings 20 points to the right for no reason. So
Yeah. Oh, I will say this summer we will probably be under the impression that Brown's going to win by like 2 points.
and if
You'll
that's the
probably
case,
even
he's
get some like
nuts.
Brown. You'll probably get some like Brown plus 10 or 15 polls
Yeah.
put into the mix.
Emerson College
there,
in
but-
I know this was November of 2023, but they had Brown up by 10. Hell, a couple polls in June. Remington Research R plus or D plus 6. So yeah, polling in Ohio could be bad. And everybody's talking about a Fox News poll. Well, I got a surprise for you.
Fox News is shit.
Fox
Back in-
News overestimates Democrats all
Yeah.
the time.
Ironically, the Fox News polls are actually Dem biased.
Yeah.
Because their
Look at
pollster
this.
isn't very good.
Look at this. Back in September of 2020, Biden was up in Ohio by 5. In June, he was up by 2. Trump won the state by 8, by the way. So you apply the same margin of error. Let's just say it's a 10-point miss. They currently have a D plus 8. Do the math.
4?
What? If it's a 10-point miss and Brown's up by 8, that's 2.
It's a 2-point
No?
win for
Yes,
Houston.
yeah.
That's
he said
4.
what plus 2?
What?
And that would also mean that Vivek is up by 9 right
10 minus 8.
Ironically, I could see that. I could see Vivek winning by 9. I'm
That'd
gonna
be
be honest
funny
with
if he
you.
does.
That's-
Like
here's
we
what I'll
don't
say,
we don't
Acton-
like him. We don't like
Yeah.
him, but he locked he
Acton's
locked
a
up the
radical.
primary. Yeah, and Acton isn't a very strong candidate.
Acton is terrible because keep in mind this: any Republican who might have issues with Vivek is going to vote for him because Amy Acton is literally the architect of one of the most strict lockdowns in the country during COVID, and that's something the Republican base is still very against.
All right,
You know,
on
like-
to Michigan.
Yeah, I think Leonard, Ohio is fine.
Yeah,
I think it's fair.
Michigan, I'm gonna go with
Michigan-
Tilt D.
Okay, who do we assume the nominee is going to be?
Elson's
Abdul
got it.
El
He's
Sayed.
got it.
I think it's Leanar or Tiltar with it.
Tiltar.
Said.
Here's why I'm
Sorry.
saying Tilt D. Here's why I'm saying Tilt D. Michigan has one of the longest streaks of never electing a Democrat or a Republican for senator of any state in the country. Half of like the safe blue states today have had a Republican before Michigan does. 2, the only reason that Mike Rogers is doing so well right now is because he just lost by about 0.3 2
You
years
got
ago.
fucked over. I still think you won.
So he has near universal name recognition. Everybody knows who he is. Republicans have already consolidated around him. And Abdul El Sayed, while he's not a very good candidate, is still running in a Trump plus 1 state in an allegedly blue year. I think he's favored only narrowly.
I just think he's way too far left to win a state like this for the same reason. I'm not sure if we're doing governor as well,
We'll do
but
governor
for the
later.
same reason that I think Tiffany is favored against Barnes or Francesca Hong. It's just this type of politics. You cannot run these type of candidates in Trump plus 1 states. Republicans had the exact opposite problem in 2022, where you saw them run like Christian nationalists like Doug Mastriano in narrow Biden states. And how did that turn out? You know?
Tudor
No, I'm not
Dixon.
saying Saeed's going to lose by 15.
Yeah, so
But what I
here-
am
here-
saying is that people in Grand Rapids who are recent converts to the Democratic Party, who are still moderate, a lot of them will still vote Republican in local races. I don't see these people voting for Abdul El Sayed, who is a self-described socialist, against Mike Rogers, who is literally just Mr. Generic Republican, lower your
generic
taxes.
R.
Like Mr. Lower your taxes.
You're talking about electing jihadi. My cousin is Osama bin Laden versus John McNormal white person.
What's your current polling look
John
like?
America.
anyways? Let me pull this up.
I think the polling average actually has Rogers winning right now.
Rogers
which
is
is
up by
insane.
1.5.
And I'm saying that's because of his near universal name recognition. Republicans have consolidated
Also,
around him.
though, a lot of Saeed's past statements and dirty laundry hasn't been aired all over the state yet, though. So
Yeah,
keep in mind
okay.
that's
That's
something
tricky.
that Rogers can also put
That
out.
is fair.
I
We'll be
think-
and they'll probably be tying him with Hassan Piker, who's already done rallies for him in Michigan.
Here's
And I
Okay,
will
here's
say
what I will say.
Rogers is running a campaign too. He's not waiting till the last minute. He's out there campaigning.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm
I'm
pretty
s-
sure he's
I'm
campaigning for the
still-
general too.
I'm still sticking with Tilt D just because I don't trust Michigan voters to like Michigan Republicans to show up. I don't trust these people to make good decisions because time and time again we get fucked over in these Midwest states in midterms. But if I mean I could very easily see us going into election day with Rogers up by 4. Like it's I don't know. Like on one hand, like my gut says he's probably favored, but like the data, I don't know.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say
The
toss up.
real political data.
I just think
Yes.
with
Real
Michigan,
American political elections.
I do
Yeah.
think with Michigan right now,
Tiltar.
they're just too. Because okay, I see the arguments for both sides. That yes, it is. You could say it's Tilt D because El Said doesn't have name recognition yet, but at the same time, you could argue well Tilt R because there's so much shit on the guy,
He's
and
too far left.
Yeah.
He is way too far left to win a swing state.
what if I just say toss up and come back to it later?
I mean, I think it
No,
really
no,
depends.
no.
I mean,
No,
but you
toss
know
it.
what? You know what? You can put it Tiltar. I'm fine with that. I don't agree, but put it Tiltar.
Toss ups are for P words.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I think if
I'm gonna
it's
see what Chad has to say.
Pennsylvanians.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna
if
see
I
what
think
Chad
it's
has to say.
Saeed, if Saeed is the nominee, I think
He's
I
going to
think it
be.
is Tilt R
Who are they gonna? Who do they
in terms of
have?
probability.
McMorrow's
No, he's the
the
nominee.
nominee.
The other two have fallen. He is
Yeah.
gaining in the polls. It's
McMorrow
gonna
is
be
like
him.
shit, and
Yeah,
Haley
because
Stevens hated by
McMorrow
everyone. Thank you.
decided.
Yeah,
she
McMorrow collapsed
decided-
basically.
Yeah, she decided 10 years ago to post on a forum that Michigan was terrible and racist and a horrible state. And then she never wanted to go back to Michigan. So her poll numbers dropped like a rock. She went from like 28% to like 10%.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Chad what to say.
Watch Michigan in 2026 be the reverse, like Pennsylvania Senate
That
race
would be
2022.
hilarious. Okay, let's.
It does honestly look like that right now.
Yeah, I think there is the scenario where Saeed like barely wins the primary, like with like by under a point. That would be funny. And then they have the Pennsylvania 2022, but instead of being in May like Pennsylvania was, it would be in August. So it's even
That is a
better.
point. That is a true point. The primary's in August, so I don't know.
How many super?
Chad is saying Tildar.
Yeah, put it Tiltar. I'm gonna stay reserved about it and not say that, but
I'm gonna.
Wait, are we
I
doing
th-
governor today as well?
no, we're not doing that.
And
Shit.
just Senate.
Well,
Bro.
listen, I'll say
We're
this about
gonna finish
Michigan.
this in like 10 minutes.
I personally think that Michigan's a toss up right now, but if we had to choose, I just think El Sad has too much shit on him. I just think that he's
I think
not.
Elstad is too connected, especially if the Hassan stuff starts to go. I don't want to say it starts to go national because very few people realistically are going to care about Piker. But for the people who are paying attention, they're either just not going to be changed in motivation, or they're going to change their minds after realizing, oh,
He's a
Elstad,
nutcase.
he's a nutcase. And
Endorsed by a guy who said the US deserved that.
Luke.
He was endorsed.
Okay.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Anyway, endorsed by a dude who said the United States deserved 9/11 and is now under federal investigation for being. I mean, I don't know. If I were the average uninformed Michigan voter and the Republican Party had shown me that the dude running, or the dude who's the fucking primary, or he's the Democratic nominee for Michigan, like was endorsed in campaigning with a dude who was openly confessing his ties to the Cuban and Chinese governments. I don't know, Yogi. I don't think that looks good.
Okay. Now we go to the Northeast, but we'll say the Southeast for later. New Hampshire.
lean D.
Lean
I agree.
D.
Lean D.
Lean D.
Maybe even Tilt. I think you can.
I'm
even argue
saying lean
Tilt.
Democrat.
I think it's a little too early to say Tilt
Yeah,
right now,
and
but I could see Sununu getting it.
he
really
is running a
close.
campaign.
And here's what I will
so-
say. Unfortunately, we do have to talk about there is a semi-large voting bloc in New Hampshire that thinks that it's Chris Sununu running right now. And I don't know how much that's affecting polling. So we do have to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, we'll see, of course, but
Mhm.
right now, Sununu in the polling is only down by 3.5. And that's with a giant outlier from the University
I'm
of
going to go with
Hampshire.
Lean D, and I think that he's definitely not favored to win. But I mean, if Trump's popularity rebounds a little bit, if it's a redder year than we expect, very easily could see him win. Although New Hampshire is just so titanium leanedy federally.
New Hampshire does have a primary until September 8th. Yeah, but Sununu's got the primary locked up. He's freaking nominee.
So if Sununu were to start just like Sununu needs to do what Tom Tiffany's doing in Wisconsin, he needs to do what Mike Rogers is doing in Michigan. He needs to start running the campaign right now. He needs to start just focusing on statewide, especially because he's already the presumptive Republican nominee.
I know that Scott Brown's still running, but that dude's gonna
Let's be
lose.
honest, man.
By the way, Scott Brown is running his entire campaign on Epstein because
Are you serious?
Yeah, because John Sununu's dad appeared in one line in the Epstein.
Wow.
Guys, I'm getting so
Yes.
sick of the
Though
Epstein
it is probably
discourse.
something that will be also used against him in the general by Pappas.
I'm
It's
so
not
The
because
funny
it's
thing
his
is-
dad and it's one line.
Here's a question.
Just-
Has a single one of the Epstein people, like the people that made Epstein their number one issue, has a single one of them won a competitive race?
No.
No.
Because let's look at them. Rokana had nobody running against them, so you can't really compare that. Thomas Massey got killed. Nancy Mace got blown out. Who else? MTG got forced out. She would have got embarrassed.
Anna Paulina Luna is TBD. I think she's gonna win easily because she's got a.
Yeah, it's
I don't
just
think
like
she has a serious
so
challenger.
far, all the Epstein people are getting crushed.
Unfortunately,
Which, if
I
that's the
think she should have a
case,
challenger.
Luke, if that's a case that all the Epstein people lose, what do you think's gonna happen in Ohio and New Hampshire? We'll see, but I think right now New Hampshire is a lean Democrat.
Yeah.
All right, Maine.
Leanar.
Likely,
Straight up.
Likely
Straight up.
are.
I'll say Tildar.
I'd say I'd say lean R.
I want to, but the next couple weeks I want to see how the polling responds to the scandals because we know the RNC
That's
has shit
fair.
on the guy. We know for a fact they have shit on him. So I want to see what happens.
The
But I think right
RNC
now,
At the same
RNC
time, it's-
needs to wait. The
Yeah,
RNC cannot drop
wait.
this stuff until after it's too late for him to drop out.
I know they got some
If
bad
the-
stuff.
If
You
they're
guys heard
smart,
it
they will
before.
wait.
They've been pretty
Also-
smart with Maine always. Because by the way, the analog horror, what they did with the analog horror thing for Collins was awesome.
What?
Also, too, they got the NRSC now owns the domain of
That was
grahamplattner.org.
whoever thought of that was a genius.
It redirects to like just a bunch of shit about him.
Yeah. And also,
Bad.
what else was I gonna say? Also, the thing is with Maine, I don't want anyone super chatting about this in the next couple months. Ignore all Maine polling. Look at the 2020 poll results.
Susan Collins
Okay.
down by 9. How did that go?
She didn't lead a single poll in the year 2020.
She didn't even come close to any poll. She won
In
still.
2019, she led a couple, but in
That
the
doesn't
year
count.
2020, she didn't lead a single poll, and then she won by
Like,
8 points. I
Maine
should add.
polling, just like Alaska polling, is shit. You cannot poll these states. And if you really want to argue that, if you have the same overperformance that Collins had in 2020 applied to 2026, she wins by a larger margin. So you better be careful with suggesting that the polls
think
are all
it's-
correct in Maine.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's very realistic to say that even can win by more than she won. by
No,
in
she's not
2020.
going to. I
Because
don't.
polarization and blah 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 and whatever the fuck. But it's hard to see Plattner winning at this point. Maine, it has too many moderates. And nothing about him is appealing to people. Like I said this yesterday, I think. He has no crossover appeal. There is not. I mean, there's going to be like 2 of them because they're schizophrenic. There aren't going to be Trump Plattner voters. So he's already maxed out at D+7. You can't go any higher than that. Then you have to deal with everything else about him. All of his scandals, the fact that he got 72% of the vote in the primary. He's very clearly lost a lot of moderate Democrats, let alone independents. I can't see him winning. Or I can. I think it's possible. Maine is still a blue
That's
state
why I think
in
it's
a blue
Tildar.
year.
I know,
But man, it and people are so confident in him for some reason. They think that he can they think that he has all of the same, if Trump can do it, then he can. No.
well, and again, I've heard, you guys know, I've heard what they have on him a little bit. It's bad.
If you
what
get
I heard is
Hassan
true,
Piker to come over there and campaign for him.
if what is true about him
That'd be
does
funny.
come out, if that's true, he's fucked. He's completely fucked at that
Dude,
point.
king of vague posting. Will you fucking put it in the Discord?
Well, it was kind of hinted at the
Well,
Well, the New York Times stuff.
from what I saw, if Graham Plattner does not drop out by July, Dems plan on pulling all funding from him and disconnecting from him, basically. Basically saying, that's whatever. And also, I've got a theory that Chuck Schumer kind of wants to use this race as like a example of why they shouldn't run progressive candidates. That's what I think is going to happen, because Plattner is going to objectively get demolished. And I think he wants to use this as kind of like his example for that. So yeah.
All right, code the legs for 2. Why is Luke against APL when she's one of the best? Because Luke is Luke.
Because she literally like supports Russia. Like she's promoting actual Kremlin talking points if you look at her social media. Basically saying that that Russia's invasion was justified and shit like that. Just look into what she's saying. I don't think we should have. If someone was saying that stuff about China, you would rightfully be pissed and want them out. I don't think we should have Russophiles and like Putin propagandists in the Republican Party. I don't think
Carmelo Anthony is appealing his case.
Yeah, I saw that. Prince
that's-
Strider for 2. Plattner also lost Towns of Mills, the right, and also, to be fair, those towns had like 5 people in it, but it's still kind of funny that happened. But yeah,
Mhm.
he didn't really have the strongest primary performance when you think about it. He was
No, I'm not
uncontested.
thinking about it.
He was uncontested for 3 months, technically, officially for 2. So he should got more than 70%, barely over 70. We even said below 70 is fucked. And yeah,
Yeah, he's
crap.
sitting like pretty close to 70.
That's not
I mean,
good.
a little above, but still.
He's gonna win most of the people over, but that's a sign that
Janet Mills got 19% as somebody that dropped out of the
Yeah.
race.
And the fucking random guy who never even campaigned got like what, 7?
8%. David Costello, 8%. The write-in got 0.4.
Wow.
So when you combine all of the challengers, 28%.
And here's the thing: I'm sure at least 80% of them are going to vote for Plattner.
Well, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But still,
Mhm.
you don't want to be losing. You don't want to be losing. What is that? 20% of 8. Please help. Please hold.
20% of
that's like
8 is
that's like-
3.25.
no, 20% of 30%. Because 30% of voters vote against him, the primary.
was it 30? It was almost 30%. I mean, like
That's
6%
6%.
of Democrats. 6% of Democrats that normally vote Democrat aren't going to vote for Plattner. Not good. Not good at all. Then you have to deal with the fact that Maine is just a very independent state. It has a lot of independence. It has a lot of crossover. Has a lot of ticket splitting. And Plattner is an extremist with all these allegations. And Susan Collins is the wholesome Republican conservative granny. Like these people, I don't know why people are so confident in Plattner. They just think,
Graham-
oh,
They're
Maine's
delusional.
+7.
Graham
It's gonna be a blue
Plattner
year.
looks like the smug douchebag who would run a millennial burger bar. Susan Collins literally looks like my grandmother.
And like the weird thing is they're
Politics is all vibes. All of his vibes are fucked.
it's
All
weird
of
with
her vibes
Collins
are
where like
perfect.
they're attacking her for saying like, oh, she was been an elitist her entire life. She never knew how to struggle like working people. It's like, do you not know Susan Collins' story, her backstory with what she had to deal with? It's like, seriously? They make it sound like Collins like like never came from Maine or stuff. It's stupid. But
A top GOP Senate strategist told NBC News the party is holding its oppo file on Plattner until after the filing deadline, fearing Democrats will biden him off the ticket.
The Florida Supreme
That's-
Court has officially greenlit the redistricted congressional map 6-1 vote.
Yay.
Yeah, I believe both of those stories from like an hour ago.
Yeah, so
yeah.
the whole thing with the Plattner stuff, again, we don't know for sure, but that's kind of the speculation. So, all right. Last 2 states. Let's go North Carolina. Oh boy.
Indy.
Lean D.
Yeah.
Tilt D.
Lean D.
Tilt D.
I don't know what Wadley's doing.
Internals have him up by 3,
Well, he's-
which, considering universal name recognition on the side of on Cooper, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm going Tilt D. He probably wins by about a 1.5.
I'm going Lean D. I just think the problem is Wadley. I have no clue what he's doing. What is he trying to like, dude? Campaign. What are you doing?
You're gonna
Your-
see some Cooper. You're gonna probably see some Cooper plus 20 polls this summer. And
Oh,
then
you're
they'll
gonna see it. Wait
magically go back to like Cooper plus 3 by the
for
end
big
of the
data
cycle.
with
and,
Cooper
yeah.
plus 35 and the Epstein independents getting 20% of the vote.
The Epstein cast.
The Epstein.
the Green Party
That's
candidate
right,
that
the
got
Green-
his arm broken.
Yeah, that's right. He might take away some votes from Cooper. That's the only thing that Whatley has.
He'll
going
take
for
away
him.
votes from him in like Durham, but that's
Yeah.
probably it.
Yeah, I think North Carolina lean D. I just think right now Whatley's running a bad campaign. I don't know what he's doing.
I think at the end of the day, Cooper probably wins the general by like 3 points.
I have
I've
Battlefield.
heard from some people in North Carolina that apparently the internals show that like a 3-point race right
Well,
now.
yeah, no,
So the
that's
pub-
what we're saying. Like we've heard the Eternals are
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's what Princess Rider also said at D plus Cooper
Yes,
plus 3
I don't
in the
know.
internals.
Okay, the reason that Whatley is probably waiting to campaign, this has been the Republican strategy for
I
like a
fucking hate
decade.
it.
They well, voters do not tune in until after Labor Day.
I guess
That's how it works. That's the theory that Republicans run on, and they end up being right a lot of the time. After Labor Day, after like mid-September, voters don't care in June, right? They don't give a fuck. They have other things to worry about. It's not until late September, October. That's when campaign season really is. So the strategy for Whatley is don't shoot your load immediately.
Thank you.
You have to wait until people are actually paying attention, and then you use all your resources. That's kind of how it works.
I get that, but like still, just do what Tiffany's doing right now and actually campaign early because you want to get momentum building before August and stuff.
By the way,
that's
he had
my
an
take.
ad out today. It was phenomenal. He's
Yeah.
cooking.
All right. Iron Battlefield for Fies. North Carolina is basically the inverse of New Hampshire. I wouldn't go that far. Tristan for 2. Whatley seems to be campaigning on crime in that said. I get why, because that's a big issue in North Carolina for.
Yeah, and then after a while,
obvious
though, if you're only
reasons.
running on Arena Zarutska, that's kind of
Yeah.
it. Kind of gets old.
You have to run other stuff.
Like it's
because
unfortunate, but still.
You can't like Cooper has a shit record on that stuff, but he's not really running on that stuff that much. That's the issue. So we'll see North Carolina, but all right. Last state is the state of Georgia.
Tiltar.
I'm going Tilt D.
I'm going lean D
Still
right
D.
now. I'm going lean D. I just think Ossoff right now, he's not pulling particularly great for an incumbent, especially this juggernaut. He's up by 2 points?
Likely libertarian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. The problem with him is people like to talk about like he's doing this fucking weird Obama thing, or he tries to go out around and give speeches. He's getting sound bites. 90% of his donations are out of state. He has no real grassroots. He literally lost in 2020 and only won because of the stupid runoff rules that they should have gotten rid of a while ago.
And because the MAGA base was like, oh, my vote doesn't count anymore because
the MAGA base
election
was
rigged."
heavily deflated after January. So yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what happened with that. He's not a strong candidate. His popularity is artificial. The thing is, senators and governors, and to a lesser extent, I guess, House members, they get to stay popular because up until campaign season, they dictate their image. It is their decision. Nobody campaigns attacks them unless they're just like already super controversial. So Ossoff to a lot of these suburban voters is just Whitey McWhite Lib Dem, and they're okay with that. You got to hammer the hell out of them over the next 3 months, and I think once you do, I don't see it. I don't. I think he ends up barely winning. He'll probably win by about 1.5 points, maybe less than that, probably about 1 point.
Yeah, I'm just saying he has the incumbency advantage, and Collins has to go through a primary. It's dumb the guy won't drop out, but he has to with a runoff, and that's going to waste a lot of time and money. So I do think right now it is lean Democrat in Georgia, but I see the argument for Tilty. I just think right now he's not pulling particularly great. His fundraising, yes, it looks great on paper, but it's all out of state from like California. So I'm going to say lean D right now. And yeah, Warnock's on the ballot. And Warnock, he got the black voters out the vote.
Yeah,
so
there's black
he
turnout isn't
juiced
going
up
to be good.
turnout.
So yeah,
What he did in 2020 and 22 cannot be replicated. It just can't. But yeah, so I think Georgia lean
Also,
Democrat.
Republicans aren't going to have Mr. Walker on the
Yeah,
ticket.
They're not going
and
to have.
also the thing is,
Mr.
like
CT.
Georgia Republicans are also very competent, and I think the governor, like obviously the governorship is probably going to be like R+4 or 5, And obviously, it didn't carry Walker over the finish line, but he was also Herschel Walker and all of his CTE and shit. He was not a very good candidate at all. Still only lost by what, 2 points? Against fucking against his name is slipping me. Against Warnock. Like 2 points
I
against
will
Warnock.
say-
Come on, man.
Round
Rules-
1, he lost by like 0.8.
Yeah.
All right. President Gilbert Giddy up for 10. Was there past election predictions where you guys said this Republican isn't going to win? What are they going to do? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Republican could win. Well, no, well, I mean, to be fair, we were wrong about McCormick. I was. I didn't think McCormick had a chance at hell, but we saw what happened with that race. President Gilbert Giddy up for 5. For Georgia, I got this feeling where we win on the state and local level, but for federal, Democrats will win. I agree with that. I think Democrats, their problem is their candidates suck down ballot. So, and back there, Republicans just won Supreme Court race by a landslide, which is funny, but
Oh man, no, sorry, Richard Hanania supporting Susan Collins. We all have to support Graham Plattner now.
yeah, it's over.
Oh, God.
But yeah, the
Oh, man.
issue with Georgia is still the trends. That is true, Rye Guy, but something might be happening in Georgia where a lot of those suburbanites are moving out. We might be seeing a little bit of that. So maybe that stops the bleeding a little bit, but we'll see. You changed Michigan by mistake on the map. Yeah, okay, so I'm going back and forth on Michigan between Toss-Up and Tilton.
Stop fucking changing Michigan. We've already been over it.
I think
Tiltar,
you
Tiltar.
God damn, dude. Quit fucking changing shit after we've been over it.
Toss-ups are for pussies. Anyways.
So yeah, right now we have Republicans trading seats in North Carolina and Michigan.
I agree.
Senate composition is net 0, no change.
because, like, okay, even if it's a Democrat here, these states are just so Republican. I just don't see Iowa flipping, for example, or Ohio. So, and even Texas, I mean, Paxton got a low ceiling, but he has a high floor. That's the issue for Democrats there. So, let's see. President Gilbert Giddy up for 2. What are your talk about? Walker was a bad candidate. Has rally about him talked about the werewolves and the vampires. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But no, this
That fucker nearly won still, which is dumb.
World of
but-
Darkness American.
Yeah.
No, Senate map is kind of a W because if you guys know something, the Senate basically has no split delegations left anymore. So now after this, we'll get 2 more split delegations if this map happens, which will be nice. Michigan
Yeah.
and North Carolina.
And Cooper's gonna last like maybe 6 years. So good luck there.
Cooper's gonna last 6 or 7 years.
Thank you.
67.
I don't
67.
understand.
I don't understand.
And by the way, and this is a good point for somebody in chat. Adam in chat says it's not a net 0. We removed a couple of rhinos. That means it's at least net +2.
I was
Yeah,
I was gonna say you're removing Cornyn, you're removing
Cassidy.
Tillis.
Hillis. I mean,
Tillis for
Cassidy.
Mike Rogers. Tillis for Mike Rogers is arguably in our pickup.
Yeah, oh, it is.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
Because
Yeah,
Mike
you're taking
Rogers,
out Cassidy.
Mike
for
Rogers is
Lutlow,
just
probably.
generic Republican. He's a vote yes on everything. So
so the next thing that North Carolina needs to do is it needs I'm sorry. The next thing North Carolina needs to do is they need to immediately, and I mean immediately, recall. Do they have a recall function? They need to set up some kind of recall mechanism.
I'm
So
not
they're
sure.
getting rid
Okay,
of it.
I think the way the Constitution is set out, you cannot
recall
recall senators. You can't, because that would be applying a new qualification to run for the U.S. Senate. I think recalls are only allowed for
It's local.
statewide,
Yeah.
and local, not federally.
I still
but,
think.
but the Senate is a statewide elected office.
Yeah, but I personally
You
believe.
know
this-
how often that will be abused, though. Just
yeah,
saying.
but I personally
highlighted
believe.
the absurdity of it.
You look the interpretation of the Constitution. I think state legislators had the power, but it never got tested. So, I personally think state legislators, if it's like 2/3, should be allowed to recall a senator. Just my take, but I don't know.
I just got kicked from a Helldivers game for having the username Hawktulian Diddy Bob.
All right.
awesome.
Recalls mostly in
Amazing.
the West than Wisconsin. Well, yeah, it's mostly out West. Recalls are, but it happens once in a while, like Wisconsin. I am Battlefield for 5, 55R and 225R.
No, you are not Battlefield. You are not Battlefield. You've lost that privilege.
Tyrone, I'm about to kick you. I am Battlefield for 5, 55Rs and 225Rs. Insert I'm not moving from this chair meme. Yeah, I know you're talking about. For those that don't know, there's a great guy on Twitter. Let me pull up his account. It is the funniest meme ever. It's literally a guy that won't move from his chair. Let me find it.
Nope, not moving from this chair.
Yeah, right here.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving from this chair.
It's from Courage the Cowardly Dog, which is a great show. It's the old dude. I forgot his name. Yeah, right here.
Eustace.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is it's Napoleon Bonaparte appreciator. He's a great guy. Go follow him. But yeah, right here. I ain't moving.
That guy's a picture.
I ain't moving from this chair. And it's House R220, Senate R55. If that happens, I'll laugh my ass off.
He's about as pro Napoleon as you can get. He literally lives in Corsica, if I'm not mistaken. That guy who runs that account.
No, he lives in America.
I thought he lived in Corsica.
He's American.
He's American.
He is?
I think he.
It's by mutual.
Yeah. Yeah, but
He's of ethnic French descent, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
He listens to the stream. Shout out to Napoleon Bonaparte appreciator.
He's a great guy.
I think there was
yeah.
a different Napolean account I got him mixed up with. Who actually?
Yeah, this
lived in
guy's great.
Corsica.
It's freaking hilarious. Every time there's a new poll or something, just post this.
Are you talking
Every
about
time.
Napoleon enthusiast?
Probably. I don't know.
But yeah, anytime like there's a new poll that shows Republicans tied, he just puts this out every time. But it's like you look at the current environment. What do Democrats have going for them? Special elections. No, you can't even say that because Republicans overperformed California. Which, by the way, convenient that nobody's talking about the California special. I wonder why. Wonder why that is. Anybody know?
You tell me.
Yeah, the one race Republicans outran Trump by like 5 points in. Nobody talks about it. Wow. I mean, primary turnout maybe, but from what I'm seeing, it's more to do with Democrats just voting more. Republicans still voting at higher rates. It's just Democrats that are voting. So, I don't know. Trump bad. Yeah, I guess a generic ballot, you could look at that, but you look at the state by state polling, it's not
Can
the
you
best
put the
for
map
Dems.
back up on the screen, please?
Yeah. Let me pull this up. Let me back up. I just wanted to, yeah.
So
Yeah,
no, this. I would say that this is objective. You know, there's a lot of time. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things that can happen between now and November. I mean, Michael Whatley, Mike Collins, they could still very much so turn these races around. All that they need is all Whatley needs is a little more name recognition, a bit of a rebrand of where his race is going. All Mike Collins really needs is basically just name recognition across the state. New Hampshire, there is absolutely time to change where that is going, and likewise in Texas. I mean, I personally don't think this is going to happen. I do absolutely don't believe for a second Tallarico can make it closer, but it is possible that Paxton could prove to be a bad candidate, maybe in fantasy world.
It just
So,
right
like,
now,
keep in mind,
with
this
it being
is
before
like
like
we're
September,
doing this. Yeah, we're doing this based off of what would happen if we did this right now. What the probability is, because there's still a lot of we're what 5 months, 4 months. Yeah,
and you really can't start making your solidified predictions until like September. That's why I'm saying I'm more open to use toss-ups right now, because I just think some of these races like Michigan, I see the argument for Tilt Dar. I just personally think it's toss-up right now because it's very early. Mike Rogers may shit the bed. Literally, he may just shit the bed. And that could be that. So, President Gilbert getting up for 5. Still can't believe we are in a timeline where we are the party of high turnout when we were begging for low turnout a few years ago. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. If this is an unusually high turnout midterm, that throws everything out the window completely. And that's why I think some of these polls are just wrong. They're prepared for a 2014 style turnout where how many people voted in 2014 again?
I don't know.
It was pathetic. Like, you want to see a low turnout? This is the type of shit like people like Barris are pushing. That's the only way it would make sense. Turnout was not even 36.5%. Not even 80 million people voted in 2014. So yeah, 80 million people voted, not even in 2014. This is what needs to happen for Democrats to win. If it's a very high turnout election, just do this logically. Do you really think there are 5 to 10 million Trump voters that'll vote Democrat?
No,
That's
don't
the
think
number
that
one
they're-
problem.
I don't think that there are any Trump voters outside like maybe 1 or 2 states, being like Wisconsin and Michigan,
Yeah.
where Trump voters are going to go vote for the Democrat, and they're sure as fuck not voting for the Democrat in Wisconsin and Michigan if the fucking candidate is outside.
That's the issue here. I'm trying to explain this to people. You're gonna tell
There's
me
no crossover appeal.
they may not vote. That's a different story. But for Democrats to get this wave year that they want, they need Trump voters en masse to vote Democrat. Barris might be pushing that shit. Even his own polling doesn't show that. It just these magical Democrats are coming out of the woodwork, out of nowhere. They just show up and they're magically voting at high rates. Gee, I wonder what's going on there. And speaking of what's going on in 2026, we got to talk about the Postal Service. There was a pretty big report that came out from, I think, NBC News. Yes, NBC News. And you want to know why I'm confident for 2026? Because, okay, Tyrone and Real Texan, when you think of the Democrat strategy for winning, how do Democrats win elections usually?
Mass mail-in voting.
And yep, it's pumping the horse shit. That's kind of what they do. Let me just pull this up for a second. Let me just pull this up. This is from CNN. This was a couple hours ago.
Remember, guys, the only way Democrats can win elections is by cheating.
Well, obviously, it's more complex than that.
They can't win D+90 districts unless they cheat. They have to cheat windows.
Democrats, their strategy is they need weeks of mail-in voting after the fact. They need people to vote after the fact or vote on election day. It takes forever. They harvest their ballots. That's how Democrats were able to win LA. If it wasn't for late arriving ballots, Pratt would be in second place. Hell, he might be in first place for crying out loud. But, well, look at this. Postal Service will not deliver mail ballots for states that do not hand over their voter list. And that's a big deal because even if they do, and they do handle mail-in voting, you know what's going to happen? These states give up their voter list to the DHS. What do you think DHS is going to do with those lists?
Well, I mean, look, we already know DHS is involved in what's happening with Los Angeles. We know that Gabbard is already now. Granted, DNI and DHS are two separate things.
Yeah, and Gabbard was retired, but yeah.
Well, my point was that multiple parts of the federal government are already actively tracking the fraud issue to begin with. Trump has been aware of this for 6 years, ever since he lost his second election.
They've been building up for this. This is what I think Trump's wild card is for 2026. Democrats can't win a conventional election. They just can't. The way the party apparatus is set up, they get obliterated if it's a normal election. No bullshit, no late arriving ballots. If it's a normal election, they get their asses kicked every single time. Even in Democrat areas, they do terrible in. They need these bullshit late arriving ballots. They need to play this game where they flood the zone with mail-in ballots.
It's not even necessarily that they're making shit up.
Oh yeah, I'm not even saying that.
It's not. No. What I'm saying is, I know some people are going to be confused by this in the audience. It's not even necessarily that the Democratic Party is like, oh, we're going to like revive 200,000 people in the Social Security system, and we're going to like they move beyond the need for that. They don't need to use expired Social Security numbers, and they don't need to necessarily. I mean, they absolutely do have groups like illegals voting. Don't think for a second that they're not doing that anymore. But their tactic has very clearly shifted from we're going to exclusively use the illegals, and we're going to like set it up so that we're just taking hundreds of thousands of dead voters and abusing their fucking voter registration rolls from like Social Security and whatnot to we're going to now flood entire areas of like downtown Los Angeles and Michigan, Detroit, and all this other fucking bullshit with these ballots. And we're going to get the homeless. We're just going to get people who aren't registered to vote, period. Like they are getting people who should not be voting, whether because of a reason X or Y or Z. They are registering them to vote. That is the fundamental issue. And that's why Trump and DHS are going so hard on it, because they know they're fucked. They know that
Yeah.
they are fucked if they get caught with voter rolls through mail-in ballots, which didn't really mail-in ballots weren't a thing until 2020. A lot of people seem to forget this.
It was, to be fair, it was kind of there, but not.
I said
really.
it wasn't. I said it wasn't a thing. Not that it wasn't there.
Yeah, it's like it was. Some states were moving towards it, but it was such a limited amount of states, and even then, they actually had procedures that actually kind of made sense. But now it's just, it's the Wild West. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. But that's why it's a big deal that USPS is saying we're not delivering ballots, because you know what that means? States like California and Gavin Newsom can't play freaking games where, LA has 2 million votes to count. They'll arrive after election day, which even then, the Supreme Court's about to rule on that. They're going to say, no, you can't do that. You cannot allow for late arriving ballots. That's happened this month. So you factor that in with USPS, factor that in with the DHS and the DOJ.
Forget, we're also seeing the other really big Supreme Court case this month.
Which one?
Birthright.
That's right.
No, it's Birthright.
What?
You said Detroit, and I said no, that's Birthright. It was a joke.
No. But yeah, like,
Go ahead.
You just look more at this. This is the Democrat apparatus. They need this horse shit for them to win elections. That's the only way they pull it out. Again, it's not fraud. I'm not saying every vote Democrats have is fraud. I think it's stupid to say that.
Yeah, the Democratic Party does not win votes exclusively off of fraud. There are plenty of votes. There are plenty of races that they do win legitimately. The issue is that they use such dodgy and shady tactics in every race that they do that everything needs to be looked into. Because even if they do win them legitimately, well, guess what, guys? They're still not even they're still not clean, even with those that they know that they could get away with cleanly.
I mean,
because they are
all
so
these
addicted
homeless
to
people
power.
are becoming voters and freaking.
They are
sketchy.
so addicted to power. They are so addicted to ensuring that they maintain the American hegemony they have in domestic politics, that they are willing to just fucking expose themselves for who they really are in order to maintain this.
Yeah. And right here,
which is why Trump's going after it.
And if USPS says, fuck you, we're not going to deliver ballots, they can't do a damn thing about it. I know they're going to sue, and some judge in Massachusetts is going to say, you have to do this. When it comes to USPS, that's a different animal. If they say, hey, that's a regulation on our part, what can a state do to stop that? Realistically.
Well, yeah, are we gonna have Democrat judges just openly tout the death of Article 3 of the United States Constitution by initiating the judicial tyranny? Are we gonna go down the route of Benjamin Netanyahu in the state of Israel, where the fucking courts hold up everything that the regime tries to do? Except, by the way, it's not the regime, because the Democrats are not in power.
Yeah. And I like the way they're doing this. They're doing this in a way where it's not the ballots themselves, it's the envelopes. And that's how they get around this. It's the envelopes. They're not interfering with the ballots, Tyrone. It's the envelopes themselves.
I like how we had just a silly start to the stream, and now we've just gotten completely serious, Jack.
Yeah. President Gilbert getting up for 20. The thing I don't want to hear is Boomer Cons or Gen Xers saying, we look how red the map is. We're the majority of America. Bro, like 5 people live out in some of those areas. Stop with the excuse of we don't need cities. Well, I agree. I think abandoning the cities are dumb, but still. Let's see. California does not remove people from voter rolls. We could prove by the numbers they should be removing at 800,000. Well, that's why USPS is playing these games now. Now it's Trump's turn to say, hey, you want to use USPS? Fine. You have to go through our rules, our system. And you know damn well, Trump has partisan hacks in USPS. I guarantee you. Like Stephen Miller's
he does.
involved.
The executive outside of DOJ, which the Democrat Party has intentionally staffed with loyalists, The executive branch is on the whole way more red.
Yeah.
It's always the legislative. It's always the legislative branch that tends to be more liberal than whatnot.
And the big thing is, so far, a judge had a chance to block it and he didn't. That's big. Like it, because again, you have to basically say USPS cannot regulate themselves, which is insane. They cannot. A judge could dictate how USPS handles themselves. That's bullshit.
A judge cannot declare that the United States. The issue is saying that USPS has to regulate itself like that. Is that you are now violating the checks and balances found in the Constitution by stating that the courts are now capable of telling the executive branch how to staff and manage the executive branch.
And that's the loophole. The SAFE Act's not going to pass, but this next best thing, you get around that bullshit with these directives. Oh, this is just, we have to handle our elections better. It's a directive. Yeah, it's a freaking executive order by Trump. They're just naming it a directive because you get around it then. So, I think Trump and his people have been thinking about this ever since he lost 2020. Oh, 100%. He's been thinking about this since November 3rd.
There's no way Trump hasn't been thinking about this since he lost
He's
the
been
2020
waiting.
election. Trump is an incredibly vindictive, long-term, patient person. Trump is the definition of someone who thinks revenge is a dish best served cold.
Yeah. He's the type of person, he will wait years for payback. And when payback comes from it, it's that's why I think he's not too worried about 2026. He has something up his sleeve because he knows the Democrat apparatus. They need these mail-in votes. They need this horseshit.
It should say something that Trump, despite everything that's happening with the 26 midterms, Trump is still moderately confident in our ability going into this midterm.
He's super confident. That's so weird,
though.
Oh, go on, sorry.
Whether or not I agree or disagree with it, it doesn't matter. The matter of the fact is Trump is confident. He hasn't been taking this seriously. Remember, Trump said, if you think about it, we shouldn't even be having midterms. What does that tell you?
Yeah, I wonder why.
What does that tell you about how Trump thinks of all this?
He has something up his, like, I'm not one of those Tran Plus. Oh, good lord, those plan trusters. Fucking hell, I'm not one of those people. But
yeah, trust me, guys. Ramp is not doped up on Planstrogen.
Yeah, but no, like I'm not one of the plan trusters, but just every time back in 2018, you could look this up. Even 22, Trump was like he was super like on the ball for midterms, like super worried about it, making a big deal about it. This time around, does he talk about the midterms at all?
No.
Like, he's like, yeah.
The only comment he's made on the midterms is we're in an American golden age and we're going to win. And if you think about it, we shouldn't be having midterms at all.
That part, I don't know why he's saying that. He always the Trump card plan. Somehow, some way, there's always something involved. He's scheming. I don't know. It may be. My guess is they know, like, especially after the California stuff, they know what the fuck is really going on here. And this is a trial run for 2026 for the midterms. What happened in California? Because can they replicate that again?
And by the way, I just want to say something. If what Trump is cooking with USPS goes through, and that has a massive consequence for us going into 28, I don't understand why people think Harris or Newsom is going to be JD Vance. I don't. Because not only that, you're going to have another 2 years to further refine that system.
Yeah. And again, the Supreme Court is about to say late arriving ballots cannot be counted. That's the current speculation. They're going to rule on that. So you add that on top of this, where DHS knows exactly who's getting mail-in votes, who's registered to vote, who's not. If they have that shit, we'll see. That fate guy for 2. Can we end the Middle East conflicts now? I hope so. President Gilbert Giddy up for 5. I thought I heard Rap say I'm not usually a trans truster. Yeah, I meant plain truster, but we'll see. But yeah, it's weird with Trump. He's usually, I know Trump doesn't really have much to like gain theoretically because he doesn't have to worry about re-election, but he's oddly calm about it. It's like, oh,
It's also worth noting Vance is very calm about
Yeah.
this too. People are not paying close enough
And
attention
Rubio,
to Vance.
same thing.
Yeah.
All three of them, it's like
These-
they're nonchalant about it. Go on, sorry.
These are two people. I was just saying, these are two people who are very nonchalant about this. These are two people who are very. They're conducting themselves with a certain level of grace and not like non-concern.
Yeah.
That can only really indicate they're up to something. Whether or not that something is going to actually work out for us or not,
That's a different story.
that's a different story. But we're talking about purely relating to the motions and the matters and the conductive, not conductive. What do you know what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say?
I know the thing. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. But man, the fact that this is picking up steam and it's gonna happen right before the midterms, it's strange. Why are they making a big deal about it now? We'll see. People know that Democrats can't have power again. I think it's part
Knife
of it
that
too.
killed Anthony. Knife that Carmelo Anthony used to kill Austin Metcalf was $13 Walmart blade with flashlight.
Oh God. But yeah, right here. This should tell you everything. In an interview with CNN, Maine Secretary of State Sheena Bellows, a Democrat who stayed as part of the coalition that filed a legal challenge in Boston, said that if courts ruled for the Trump admin, then you'll see a virtual elimination of mail-in voting unless the states supply voter lists to the federal government. This right here is why they're panicking about this. They're admitting either we give up mail-in voting and that fucks up our entire operation, or we give up the voter lists. And I wonder why they don't want to do that. I wonder why.
I just realized something.
What?
You know how the World Cup is happening this year in America?
Yeah.
Europeans are going to get to watch Joey Chestnut fucking scarf down 84
Oh, yeah, that's right.
fucking pistols.
Yeah. Yeah. I do wonder, like, if this goes through, what can California do for mail-in voting then? Nothing?
Nothing. They don't have a counter.
Because I mean, there's no way they could set up their own operation. There's no fucking way. And the fact they're admitting that this will eliminate mail-in voting, I wonder why they're saying that. All right. Let's see. If anyone got any more super chats, any more questions, concerns, whatever, send them now. Last calls with super chats. Yeah, the World Cup starts tomorrow, I think. Team USA starts on Friday, right? I think so. America noted for 6. To be fair, aren't they busy with other stuff to worry about midterms more than usual? I get that, but when Trump's asked about it point blank, he doesn't care. Or Vance even. Or even Mike Johnson, they don't give a shit. So, mailing list had illegals. Yeah, that's part of the reason why, probably. That or the voting list will make no sense. All right.
But yeah, seems like the end of the stream, maybe. Shortest super chats.
Yep, I think that's it. Anyways, folks, I think that's it. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed.